So this is the first video in this course, Electric Vehicles. So in this video, we learn about the introduction to electric vehicles and a brief history of electric vehicles. So coming to the introduction part, what do you mean by electric vehicle? So electric vehicle is the one which operates on electric motor. So you can see here, it operates on electric motor instead of internal combustion engine. The conventional gasoline based vehicle which run either based on which run on ICE. So the input what we give there is either the gasoline or the diesel, and we get the mechanical power from the engine. So engine is normally used in any vehicle to convert the given fuel into mechanical energy. Coming to electric vehicle, this particular engine is operated based on electric motor. So the electric motor is the one which gives the necessary mechanical power to run the vehicle. So the evolution of electric vehicle is seen as a possible replacement to current generation automobile, mainly because of these reasons, that is rising pollution, global warming, depleting natural resources. These are the reasons why we have reasons for the EV to in the market. These are the reasons why EV is rapidly increasing in the market, mainly to reduce the pollution, reduce the global warming, and also the gasoline or the diesel is based on natural resources which are depleting day by day. So, in order to cope with this, we need to have an alternate solution for ICE, where electric vehicle is seen as an alternate solution to ICE based vehicle. Uh, so coming to the history, how exactly the electric vehicle have been developed. So the first car that was used is the steam powered cars. So we can call it as steam cars. They were the first car which was actually first automobile which actually made a lot of buzz during that era. So here what happens is the main advantage here is it had high performance with respect to power and speed. The only disadvantage or the major disadvantage of steam engine cars were its poor fuel economy, and you need to fire up the boiler, which means that you have to set up the boiler, prepare the steam before we start driving. So these were the two key disadvantages of steam powered car. And also the input what we give was feed water. Now feed water is nothing but purified water. It's a purified water which is made suitable to the boiler so that it can generate steam. So some treatment has to be done to the normal water in order to remove the impurity so that it is suitable for the boiler environment which can easily give up the steam. So that is what feed water means. Now coming to this particular part, so feed water is given as input to the steam engine. So if you have any loss of feed water within the car, the car would eventually could not run. So it could not tolerate the loss of fresh water. Later part we had a condenser which came into picture. Condensers were invented. Now what this condenser would do is whatever steam that would get generated, it was condensed back to water. So what exactly was done here is we could recycle the steam. So the recycling of the steam could be done using the steam condenser. Hence, the efficiency of the engine or the efficiency of the car could be improved. But later, but yet, when the gasoline cars came, the steam engine could not win the battle there, and eventually it got obsolete, and nowhere it can be used nowadays. So coming to the next part is the electrical cars. Electric cars are not something which was new to the system. Actually, the electric vehicle car came much before gasoline car. It was a very good replacement for steam engine car as well as gasoline cars, mainly because it was comfortable, quite clean and fashionable. Because the gasoline car which were being there in the market at that time didn't had a ignition system. So it didn't had an ignition system. Hence, you need to have a crank there. A crank, we can call it as a mechanical input which is used to start the vehicle. So it is a part of an engine which converts the linear piston motion into rotational motion. Nowadays, we can see this crank in most of the auto rickshaws, where you need to actually pull the crank so that you can have that rotational motion given to the engine, and engine starts to rotate. So earlier days, crank was used to start the car, which was not a very comfortable picture when it comes to normally it was not very comfortable among the women who had to be who used to run the cars. So that is the reason why gasoline cars were not very popular, and it wasn't even clean, and it wasn't very quiet. It was very like it used to give a lot of gaseous products, which was not considered clean and quiet. So hence, electric cars were more comfortable, more quiet, more clean, and more fashionable. Hence, they were used in the during 1980, 1890s to 1924. And we can see that during this period, that is 1890 to 94, we can call it as a golden age of electric vehicle, mainly because a lot of peak production of EV happened during that era. The major limitation was with respect to the range, which was limited by the energy storage in the battery. Now, the most commonly used battery in the earlier days was lead acid battery. So, what do you mean by range? So, when we speak of range, it is nothing but distance a vehicle can travel. Distance a vehicle can travel on a full tank. On a full tank or a fully charged battery. Fully charged battery before it needs to refuel. Before it needs to refuel or recharge. So this is the meaning of range. So how much distance a vehicle can travel in kilometers? Normally it is measured in terms of kilometers, and some it measures in terms of miles. So how much distance a vehicle can travel once it is on full tank, or when the battery is fully charged. Normally the first scenario is for IC and second scenario is for the EV before it needs to refuel and recharge. So earlier the main type of battery that we used was lead acid battery, which has a very low specific energy. Specific energy was very less, so it had a very low specific energy, which in turn limited the range of the vehicle. So it needs to be recharged after every 10-15 kilometers. Frequent charging was required, so which made it one of the major limitation of the electric cars. At the 1924 automobile show, there was no electric cars were on display, which marked the end of the golden age of electric vehicle. The main reason for this shift was gasoline was developing, and during the year somewhere around 1912, 1911, 1912, the ignition system was developed, was invented General Motor in by the General Motor engineers, which actually eliminated the use of crank. It eliminated the use of crank, where you could easily, the key ignition system was started, where you put a key and you can easily ignite the engine, so you can start the engine. So that was invented during 1912 around. So that marked as one of the major development, a transformation which helped to increase the gasoline car in terms of its market. So, coming to gasoline car, initially it was noisy, dirty, smelly, crank-tankerous, and unreliable. Later on, when the ignition system started coming into picture, the gasoline car became more comfort zone of transportation. And even today, even for this time, it goes as a comfort transportation system. Uh, so the major reason is this with respect to the superior range it can give. The gasoline has a very high energy density compared to battery, which made the range of the vehicle very high. So you can see that 1 kg of gasoline has 360 times the energy of 1 kg of fully charged lead acid battery. So we could see the difference here, which made gasoline most popular during that era. Later, slowly the hybrid cars started coming into picture, where the battery and the gasoline were combined together to get the better vehicle performance. Here, the good features of gasoline engine was combined with the features of electrical motor, so that we can produce a better performing car. Now we can see few hybrid cars are coming into picture, such as Hyundai has come up with few hybrid cars. So, in a similar manner, many of the manufacturing units are coming up with the hybrid cars. So we could see the timeline here. So during 1769, the first steam engines were produced. The first internal combustion engine on fuel gas was invented in 1806. In 1860, the first successful gas-driven engine was developed. 1893, you can see here we had first gasoline powered car, whereas in the year 1860s to 1924, which is considered as the golden age of electric vehicle, the peak production happened in 1912, whereas the decline started to happen in 1924. So from 1924 to next, you can see the EV is disappearing, gasoline is dominating the market, and later at the 1960s, due to various reasons, for one is the global warming, then you can call oil crisis, which happened during the year 1980s to 1990, where countries started realizing their dependency on other country could lead to most of were issues with respect to the political scenario as well as the economical scenario of the country. So they thought that the need for oil independency was needed. Hence, they started shifting towards the EV, a more sustainable and more suitable replacement for gasoline, so that they can reduce the oil dependency. And also, one other reason was the lithium ion invention. In the year 1990, Sony came up with lithium ion battery, which had a higher range compared to lead acid battery, which became a technological breakthrough for electric vehicles. So we can see in the uh, 1990s, first generation of EV happened, and later on, a lot of development in terms of EV started to happen. So we have a lot of development when it comes to electric vehicle. And the first vehicle to come up with the lithium ion battery is Tesla model. So after that, most of the cars nowadays they use most of the cars are using lithium ion batteries because of its higher range. So, and further developments have been taken where, along with the batteries, supercapacitors, flywheels, as well as fuel cells are being researched in order to incorporate within the electric vehicles. So, this is the brief about the historical development of the automobiles. In the next video, we'll look at the environmental issues with respect to automobiles. Thank you.